Hi, my name is Garret Weintrob, and I have my own photography and filmmaking company, Garret Weintrob LLC. I live in Washington. I work all around the Northwest. Well, I'm a photographer and filmmaker. I'd say I do about 50% of 50% photography, 50% filmmaking. I mostly shoot sports and landscapes, so like Seahawks games, and I also take people on photography workshops. We go all around to really cool parts of the United States, and I basically just teach them how to do photography. I really wanted to have a job where I could be outside most of the time, and especially with the landscape side of things, I'm always getting to be in the outdoors, in nature, seeing some really cool places, and I knew that I really wanted to have a career where I could spend a lot of time outside. There are, I'd say more so than most other jobs in the world, there are so many different pathways you can take in order to start working as a photographer and a filmmaker. And those terms are also really broad. A photographer, you could be shooting weddings, you could be shooting car commercials, or you could be doing landscape and sports like I do. It's such a big field, and there's so many different ways you can get into it. Some people will pursue higher degrees, like go to college or grad school, but a lot of other people are more kind of self-taught. Resources just like YouTube or just looking online at different blogs are super helpful, and one of the ways that I've learned so much of what I know about photography. So there's really no one right way to get into this. It kind of depends on the specific direction you want to go in. But even if, say, you say, oh, I want to be a sports photographer, there's still no kind of defined path. It's really up to you to kind of forge your way through this field. There are a lot of things that motivate me to keep going with this career. With the workshops especially, it's always great to meet new people from all around the world, and I love just being able to kind of share my own knowledge with them, and it's always so cool to be able to show people some really cool places that you know and that you love that they've never seen before, and kind of see their reactions to those. And with sports especially, it's always so much fun to just be in this huge stadium or environment that's really crowded, where everyone is very energetic and passionate about what's going on. So with sports, I really like kind of just the whole energy surrounding the job. If you're interested in becoming a photographer or filmmaker, I think the first thing you need to do right now is just find the closest camera to you, whether it's your phone, if you already own a camera, if your parents have some camera lying around or something like that. It doesn't matter what it is. If it costs $5, just go out and find something that you enjoy shooting. There's nothing that can replace practice. That's easily the most important thing. And then beyond that, you should try to find people who have similar interests. And it's very important to make connections in the field. And one other thing I would say is that you could kind of look at this as a downside to this job, but it's not necessarily the most secure. What I mean by that is that you're always going to be working irregular hours. Day to day, you don't necessarily know what you're going to do. You don't go into work, sit at a desk from 9 to 5 days a week, make a certain amount of money, go home. It's harder to predict what's going to happen when you're a photographer or a filmmaker. And for some people, they want that kind of stability, and so this is not really the right job for them. But I think that it gives you so much more flexibility, so much more freedom to really pursue what you want to pursue. And so I personally really enjoy kind of the always changing nature of this job. But it is important to realize that you're not always going to know what comes next, so you have to be prepared for anything.